The victory in this mod's name sounds like victory. It's kinda ironic, since Victreebel is butt cheeks in GSC underused. Victreebel is a severely flawed Pokemon in GSC underused. While it does possess a high attack stat, sleep powder, and access to sword stance, it also possesses a terrible defensive typing, mediocre speed, and moveset problems. Victreebel is very inconsistent, and you're usually better off using something else. Victreebel attempts to abuse the combination of sleep powder and sword stance. It can sleep something, and then abuse a sleeping Pokemon to set up. Victreebel has the same attack stat as Scyther, and a solid physical stab move in Sludge Bomb. Sounds great on paper, but in practice, it's heavily flawed. Victreebel is weak to Psychic, Ice, and Flying, which are all common attacking types. Several common Pokemon can outspeed and 2 KO Victreebel. Victreebel has to decide between Hidden Power Ground and Giga Drain, which is choosing if you want to be walled by Piloswine and Quagsire, or Haunter, Nidoqueen, and Magneton. Yeah, no. Victreebel is inconsistent and bad. Just use Scyther or Pinsir over this crap. Sleep Powder and a water resistance aren't enough to make up for its flaws. Let's analyse Victreebel. Haha, do you get what I did there? Victreebel is purely relegated to an offensive role. Its defensive typing is really bad, and its defensive stats are similarly shitty. Don't bother with some crappy synthesis, you're just better off using Blossom. Victreebel does have some good traits offensively. It has a high attack stat, access to fantastic stab and Sludge Bomb, and Sword Stance. Sword Stance powers Victreebel up to scary degrees. After a Sword Stance, Victreebel's Sludge Bomb hits like a freight train if you don't resist it. Hypno, Gyarados, Granbull, Scyther, and Pinsir all get 2 KO'd by a boosted Sludge Bomb. Even Slowbro is shaky at taking boosted Sludge Bomb. It's guaranteed to be 2 KO'd after spikes. Sludge Bomb also has a 30% chance to poison, which ruins Pokemon that don't use rest, like Gyarados and Scyther. Victreebel's poor bulk and typing make it difficult for it to find setup opportunities, so it wants Sleep Powder to help itself set up. Sleep Powder pairs well with Sword Stance. Victreebel can put a foe to sleep, and then abuse their sleeping turns to set up Sword Stance. Pokemon like Scyther, Gyarados, and Qwilfish can't easily take advantage of Victreebel because they hate getting slept. If Victreebel hits a Sleep Talk user with Sleep Powder, then that's still fine, because now they are at the mercy of Sleep Talk. They can pull Rest versus Victreebel as it freely sets up a Sword Stance. You can abuse the fact that your opponent expects you to click Sleep Powder. If they have, say, a Nidoqueen that they need to win the game, and they go to Sleep Talk Hypno to absorb Sleep Powder, you can click Sword Stance on the switch, and then smash through the Hypno. Sleep Powder plus Sword Stance is Victreebel's primary niche. Victreebel then picks Hidden Power Ground or Giga Drain as its last move. Sludge Bomb is resisted by several common Pokemon, so Victreebel needs a coverage move for poison resists. Hidden Power Ground hits Qwilfish, Nidoqueen, Haunter, and Magneton, while Giga Drain hits Piloswine and Quagsire. Picking between these moves is not great. You are choosing between being walled by Nidoqueen, Haunter, Magneton, or Qwilfish, or being walled by Piloswine. I think Hidden Power Ground is better, because it leaves you walled by less Pokemon, but being walled by Piloswine is hot garbage, especially since it uses Rest Talk for Sleep Powder. If you drop Sleep Powder and use both moves, then you drop the main reason to even use Victreebel. It's also worth noting that Victreebel resists water and electric. Victreebel is actually able to set up all over Blastoise, who is a staple in this tier. It can also set up on Hidden Power electric variants of Omastar and Lantern, though Lantern can ruin Victreebel with Thunder Paralysis. Victreebel is very good against Quagsire semi-Saltiums. Victreebel sets up all over Blastoise and Omastar and then ravages these teams. Giga Drain Victreebel can legitimately solo Quagsire Semi-Stalls. You have to make very risky plays to stop Victreebel from sweeping you, and even that isn't enough a lot of the time. If you want to destroy Quagsire Semi-Stalls, Victreebel is one of the best mons for that. Alright, yeah, I've been too nice to this stupid thing. Let's get back to pooping on Victreebel. Victreebel is severely flawed and inconsistent. Its defensive typing is dreadful. Sure, it has water and electric resistance, but it also has weaknesses to Psychic, Ice, Flying, and even fucking Fire. The list of Pokemon who can 2-KO Victreebel includes Hypno, Mr. Mime, Nidoqueen, Haunter, Gyarados, Scyther, Piloswine, Slowbro, Dodrio, and even more. That's like nearly every top Pokemon. Even Pokemon who merely hit it neutrally, like Granbull, still deal a massive amount of damage to it. Victreebel's typing is truly terrible in this metagame. Its bulk is also poor, making it even worse defensively. By the way, most of the Pokemon I mentioned also outspeed Victreebel. Victreebel is outsped and 2-KO'd by Nidoqueen, Gyarados, Scyther, Mr. Mime, Haunter, and Dodrio. It's very hard for Victreebel to function when so many common Pokemon outspeed and 2-KO it. Several of these Pokemon resist Sludge Bomb too, so they are able to pivot into it. Victreebel isn't that good into slower teams either. While it does destroy Quagsire Semi-Stalls, it sucks into Shuckle Stalls, given that they run both Rest Hawk Shuckle and Crobat. As mentioned earlier, picking Victreebel's moveset is very troubling. If you pick Hidden Power Ground, you get countered by the very common Piloswine. If you pick Giga Drain, you get walled by the similarly common Haunter, Nidoqueen, and Qwilfish. It's just a terrible choice to have to make, and it makes Victreebel even more inconsistent and matchup reliant. Speaking of inconsistency, Sleep Powder is famously inaccurate. Victreebel frequently has to hit Sleep Powder in order to be effective at all, and if that move misses, tough luck. Status is another thorn in Victreebel's side. Even Pokemon it can be, like Lantern, Magneton, and Ampharos, can ruin it with Thunder Paralysis. Victreebel is outsped and 2-KO'd by several common Pokemon, walled by certain top Pokemon depending on its moveset, and has to rely on a 75% accurate move to be effective. Victreebel needs specific matchups to actually be effective, and fitting it onto teams is a chore. It's typically not worth it anyway. It's difficult to fit a Pokemon with such a bad typing onto a team. There's a lot of threats who become much more difficult when you put Victreebel on a team. Overall, Scyther and Pinsir are far more consistent, splashable, and better Pokemon. They don't have Sleep Powder, but their other advantages more than make up for it. Swords Dance Scyther and Pinsir are consistently dangerous, while Swords Dance Victreebel more often than not needs a good matchup to actually be effective. It's just too hard to make Victreebel work consistently. Victreebel is a bad Pokemon in GSC Underused, and you should very rarely consider it. History-wise, Victreebel has never been very good, but there's one interesting fact I want to bring up. When the first iteration of the GSC Underused viability rankings went up, Victreebel was in C tier. Interestingly enough, Victreebel didn't move out of C tier when the viability rankings were updated. In September 2018, there was a huge viability rankings update. Not only was this update meant to refresh the viability rankings, it was also going to be the basis for the new GSC NU tier list. Everything in GSC Underused below B- on this new tier list would be NU, while everything in B- and above would be UU. GSC NU's tier list was very outdated by this point, and this is how people decided to update it. Victreebel ended up being C+ on this viability rankings, meaning it would now drop to NU. However, in a stroke of luck, Victreebel was moved to B- mere days before the NU tier list was updated. This was because some people vouch for Victreebel and argue that it should at least be in B-. If it wasn't for this last minute vouch, Victreebel would have stayed in that C plus tier and dropped down to GSCNU. Victreebel probably would have been incredible in the right shoot and for alligator dominated metagame, so maybe it was a curse that it stayed in UU. Since 2018, Victreebel has stayed consistently bad and rarely seen in tournaments, so who knows? Maybe it will drop down to NU one day.